Oh, the thing is that this game is actually the most underrated game I have ever played, and actually the most underrated franchise I ever played. I actually beat the Dual Destiny though. That's the only thing, but that was like a long time ago, so I pretty much forgot the whole answer of it. I never beat the Apollo Justice, nor did I ever beat the Spirit Justice. I don't think I ever played Spirit Justice. I beat the original trilogy, but not the actual game though. But it's all good though. So pretty much you're gonna watch me making shitty choices. Showtime. And I'm pretty much gonna be talking like every single character I talk. I'm gonna have like a different voice acting though. Except for this flashback though, because I'm not gonna talk about this type. And the thing is, if I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna most likely just probably need a water after this. Damn. Got caught packed. If I still able to caught up what just happened from the original trilogy, I know there's other games and franchise from it, like other spin-off, like for example Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth, or the other one that took place long time ago, which is Phoenix Wright's Ancestor. And I'm not gonna do the autoplay because I know damn well I'm be button mashing this shit. Panicked, palms sweaty, knees weak, arms heavy. I can admit it, I'm nervous. Good morning. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight? I don't know if that's his good I don't know if that's a perfect voice for him though. I'm loose. I'm fine. That screeching noise, is that your voice, I suppose? It's to be expected. Your first trial, and it's homicidal. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my chords of steel voice workout. I'm fine. That explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. I never thought I had to make the cough sound. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want him to let him down, if you get my drift. Drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that drift. As it happens, I'm dealing with him the night of the murder. You can't let this case fall through. Yes, I'm fine, sir. One thing. Oh, fuck, I already fucked it up. Shit, I was using Apollo. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. Go. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. Who's my client? My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney, and today is my first trial. So I'm gonna use Apollo Cruz as my Apollo Cruz. Who the Apollo Justice as my real voice, my actual voice though. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder, which is pretty not that surprising though, because 99% of the whole series is always the murder case. We never got. I kind of wish that we have a other trial that is not murder, like I don't know, like robbery, treason, or I don't know, some petty court case. But sometimes we almost got it, like a court case with robbery, which was the great thief, but then it later turns to a murder because someone killed a fucking boss. So it's pretty unfortunate for that to happen, but it's like, dog. Or we could have to do with the mafia, like a gang related trial that is not murder, but it is what it is, because I mean it's pretty much not interesting or not eventful compared to as a homicidal case. My boss want me to help him out, of course, so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. I want to maybe like a deep voice, like depressing voice acting. Whoa. Good, morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. Nah, I can't do that. First trial, nervous, meeting him. Cardiac arrest. Hey, I can relate to that, bro. You and I have some heart problems. I think I was supposed to say something. Help? So you're... Fine. I'm fine. Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Well, I mean, I don't know. To be honest, I don't think Justice is a weird odd name, though. Just naming Justice as your last name is pretty hard. Same goes with Apollo, though. You don't see anyone name themselves Apollo. Well, off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Garvin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend, so... And he's your friend, so why? You'll see. Huh? You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time, shall we? Yes, sir. Okay, I need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice. The court case number 2, baby. And it's on April 20th, too. 4/20. And that was like actually like one day after my birthday. The court is now in set. Yeah, maybe I can do with that voice. The court is now in session.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Oh God, it's fucking pain. The defense is fine. I mean, ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. Your name was Mr. Justice? And this is your first trial? Yes, this is my first trial because this is the first fucking game of this series. Yay! Yes, Your Honor, but I'm fine, really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strange. That's coming from a person who sounds like fucking Goofy. Mr. Garvin. Gavin? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. This was my intention, yes. However, a defense attorney must always cease to his client's wish. And my client specifically requests Mr. Justice. Well, of course, he wants justice. But to entrust his case to this greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Garvin. Even though that you are low-key a complete psychopath, I can feel the psychopath vibe towards you. Okay, so Garvin got trial experience, fine. But does he have the cords of steel? Apollo, I don't think this is a good time for you to say it. Be fucking up top on him. Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no seen, Mr. Wright. Oh shit, that's actually that's Phoenix Wright? What the fuck happened? This nigga looks like a fucking homeless man. What happened? Let's put the past behind, shall we? These days I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. What happened? Mr. Wright? How could this happen? I won't speak of it further then. If the prosecutioner will be so kindly as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne.
To think I saw you enter this room fresh attorney, and now I see you leave in chains.
Winston Payne. Subtitle as ever, I see.
The crime occurs in the Brushki Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took...
Okay, now I'm starting to sound like a right.
The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him, wham, on the head, smack, killed him cold.
A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say, he was?
A pianist for the club, it seems.
Mr. Wright, a pianist?
This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. A grape juice apparently our defendant drink of choice.
The court accept the deadly bottle as evidence. The grape juice is bottle used as a murder weapon bears the Mr. Defendant, Mr. Wright prints. Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filled in court record, which I can just press it like that. Oh, okay, so I can just press right and then it's gonna be a profile. Make the practice of checking it frequently. The court record. Right, I heard of that. Use R to look at the evidence so far. I mean, it's literally right there before you even tell me to control or tutorial level. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right, just use R sounds like it's time to use some hands-on action. So, the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But who was this? Shandy Smithville?
We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor.
A traveler?
According to his passport, he has been out of country for numbers of years. He had only returned this country recently. Through his place of residency is unclear.
And he has some sort of connection with the defendant?
That too is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe that he first met at the
Bro, I can't speak. I can't speak over this word very well.
Bowl Club on the night of a crime.
If that was just meant, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slayed the defendant piano playing.
That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive has nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skills. At least not the piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean.
Damn. To be honest, that doesn't even look like he got murdered. He looks like he got drunk on. He's blacked out from. I don't see any blood too. Wait a second. Isn't that a poker gambler? Isn't that a crime in of itself? Well.
Indeed. It appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal.
Objection!
It is true that the defendant has engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was the only one. Oh my god, I have voice crack. Yet it was only that, a game in a purest sense of competition, Your Honor.
A competition?
Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passion. Only the cards they're back would read in blue flames, you know, its final outcome. Come again? To be honest, sometimes I'd be thinking that this fucking judge is completely a dumbass. That I'm surprised that he's qualified to be a judge.
The cards on the back of the cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defendant was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present and impress women.
That will be our first order of business here then, to find out more about this fatal game of cards. Very well, defendant. You will testify our court about the poker competition held in the night of a crime. My pleasure. This is it, my first trial. Here goes nothing. Uh-oh, we're about to have a witness testimony. Here we go. Alright. Because I know I'm going to make a shitty decision. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I hardly played at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table, the room where we played in the competition, and there are the club main attraction. The rules are simple. We played a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. And that is all, a game, and our customers are happy. A pianist who can't play piano?
Better than a defense attorney who can't defend.
Okay, that's crazy coming from a nigga who just go 0-3 in a trilogy. Very well, the defendant may begin a cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? Okay, it's just a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You watched me perform cross-examination many times, though you have never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? What to do? Should I ask Mr. Garvin for a refresher in court? I mean, I would, sure, why not? Because I have a different controller. Better safe than sorry, especially this early in the game. Yes, teach me. I know nothing. Indeed, your job, Justice, is to be mindful in the court record and the testimony. Look for an inconsistency in testimony with what the court record tells you. When you found an inconsistency, that's when you would present the conflicting evidence from the court record with R. Not only the evidence, but also identify the people yourself. But I didn't hear anything strange at all in the testimony just now. A good sign that you need to press and witness with the L for more information. Press him? Don't let the fact that he is a remarkable man hold you back. Get more information. But, isn't Mr. Rice my client? Well, think you can do it? Yes, thank you, sir. I think I can do it. I think you'd be better, or we're gonna have a problem. I don't like the way you threaten me like that, say we're gonna have a problem. Just remember, find any inconsistency and lies in the testimony and reveal them to the court. That is a cross-examination. Learn it. Know it. Do it. Do it. Okay. Ooh, shit. As if Mr. Wright would be a lie. It's up to me to prove it. The defense attorney may begin with the cross-examination. Shit, oh shit, I low-key need a voice for this. The competition. I am a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. Hold it! Yeah, that is true. That's kind of weird. You hardly play. Like, how are you even qualified though? Oh, I play sometime if the customer demands it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. That's supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask, a respectable face I wear for the world at large. Then why are you really at the Roche Boat Club? My real job is to take interested customers over at the poker table. Hold it! Can I actually, hold on. Okay, so I can just do this. Just in case if I made a mistake and like back out. They pay you just to play poker? That would be seen the case. I mean, I'm a professional after all, even though I barely even played, which is probably like once in every blue moon.
Bah! Do I detect pride in that statement?
This is the person who takes pride on destroying every rookie lawyer. Bro cannot even, I don't think this man can even beat any highly level defense attorney. Like Edgeworth's dad and probably Phoenix Wright though.
It's just hard for an honest, hardworking member of society like me to imagine.
Yes, your imagination always been limited, Winston.
What?
I played poker for 7 years in that little room, and that I never lost once. Damn, okay. I mean, you have to be very lucky to be undefeated though for playing poker, because poker is sometimes a bit luck-based though. What? You see why the customers come now. Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It was quite a draw. That is quite a draw. Wait, you never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm professional. You played poker for 7 years and not lost once. Is that even possible? The room where we played in the competition and there our club main attraction. Hold on. Okay, I don't have any good evidence for it right now. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction. It's quite a history actually. The Bosch Bowl Club is used to gather spots for black market type back in the day. Black market? All in the past, things like the black market are only in the silver screen nowadays. Suffice to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room. A smoky room? Gambling hoods? You know? Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. The boss gathered around here. Oh shit. The boss gathered around the table, cutting deals safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watching through the small window. Oh, we have a fucking gooner peeping, huh? That's nasty. I have a dirty mind. I can practically picture it now. That window. Does it look like it would be good for keeping lookout below the house? The room had few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play pokers in the room, steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. So I press X, and then that's when I present. Okay. Okay, so it's black and white. It's kind of hard to see what color it is. The 2 decks of cards. A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alter 2 decks, no one can slip in the cards. There is something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lines scattered on the floor. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor. Each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we use 2 types of cards at the club. One on the red, the other blue. One deck of cards was red, the other blue. As I recall, in poker, you make 5 cards hand. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Yes, a game of hands. So there is 2 of them. Oh, I didn't even finish. This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understand the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right. It was a simple game after all. Are you sure? People are not murdered over a simple game, Mr. Justice, unless they are fucking cheating or someone who has a weak ass mindset that they don't know how to take a loss and exit court like everyone else. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that the crime occurred, yet you claim no connection to the crime? Now that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Shit, I need a water for a moment. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. I completely let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Right. There's something I'd like to make clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Very well. Defendant will amend his testimony. Just one more press. And I got myself a whole new testimony. I plead silence in regards to murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Hold on, I need water for a moment. I need water for a second. I'm gonna grab 2 bottles of water for this one. Alright, well, got him. I got him. Please silence. I never touched a murder weapon. Does he actually have a print? I don't see a print of it. Apollo's completely empty. Gotta touch something right there. Oh. Oh. The grape juice. How long has it been since I drank a grape juice? Apparently, it's alright. Favorite drink. I mean, it's wine. So wait, Apollo just drink alcohol? Okay, that's him. Objection! Gotcha. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon, this grape juice bottle, right? So I said. Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
Too bad our new defense attorney has never learned how to play dumb.
What's this, Mr. Payne?
I examined the bottle in question, you see. It was covered with the defendant's fingerprints.
Yeah, I mean... Objection! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. I mean, you're kind of a little bit far, though. Excessive yelling can damage the judge's ears in our case. But, what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about the fingerprints on a bottle in the restaurant? Yeah, I checked it. I don't see it. Oh, that's true. The prints alone doesn't prove...
Oh. Ow. They wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints?
Huh?
But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down.
Upside down? What does that mean?
It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can only be one reason for that.
Yep.
Yes. To brain someone with a bottle.
To brain someone is insane. What was that fucking mouth, Apollo? Mr. Gavin, I think this just took a turn of the worst. Oh? I see no problem, Mr. Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything you see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. That must be some reason.
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it? Who reported the murder to the police? Yeah, that's right. We haven't got the witness yet. Reported?
Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright, but still, that's...
Really?
Yes, very well. According to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by the call from the defendant's cell phone.
Near the cell phone? I mean, near the scene?
Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we? The victim was murdered in a small room in the basement, 2 floors down from the ground level. Of course, the cell phone can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs to use this hallway to go above the ground. The call came from the 1st floor of the restaurant.
I see. And this is the phone that was made in the call? What the fuck? That is a relic ass phone call. It's a cell phone, bro. Wright's cell phone added to the court case, used by a defendant to notify the police from the restaurant 1st floor. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported to the authorities. You claim he is being uncooperative? Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I better not waste this. I think it's the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being.
Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about...
Was What was it you say? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred? How could you possibly know this? That is a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has decisive witness.
You're good as they say. You're good as they say you are.
So someone else was in the room the night of the crime. So that means they have witnessed the crime. I mean, of course, you're always gonna have a witness in this game, by the way. There's like, at least like 1 or 3. But then there's the, cause you know the last witness will always be the one. Everything up till now has been warmed up, Mr. Justice. Are you ready? Ooh. Very well. The prosecution may call this first witness to the stand. Who is she?
The witness will state her name and profession.
But hold on just a minute. Where's the witness? Judge, you're literally at the top. You're in the high ground though. I'm pretty sure you can see her when she's down there too. And plus, she doesn't even cover herself up much.
I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense demonic looking horn.
So I'm used the little hail gel. Relax, people. I have no fear. If any horns point at your direction, this court will cut them off.
You sure?
I swear on my gravel. Please come out now before we're gonna have to bonk you. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? No, it fucking isn't. Because your hair is fucking ass. I wish after this trial ends, I hope you get a haircut and chop those fucking pecs off. You understand me, Mr. Justice? Well, if you're just sure of it, okay. She's so timid. The hell? Now the prosecution. What? Wait a minute. Did you just take a picture of me without consent? Come on now, don't be a paparazzi. I know I'm a famous judge, but damn. Would you explain the prosecution care to explain the witness? Hold on. I don't know how you say it. Hold on. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia?
Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade.
Okay, and Winston slowly starting to sound like Frieza now. And that will be?
My name is Olga Orly. I am employed as the waitress in Brosh.
Okay, maybe she might be Russian. I'm gonna give her a Russian accent.
I am employed as the waitress in Brosh Bowl Club restaurant.
Then why the camera?
Of course, it is my pride to serve the brochure that is naming restaurant. But I also perform, other service.
I take it from these orders, service is taking the customer's pictures.
Da. Like for example, this one.
Oh shit. The defendant.
Indeed, on the night of the murder. The man in the white, he is one who has gone kaput.
Indeed. That is the victim. Order. This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps. I wish you can just show us the evidence by all means for anything before the trial begins. But the court case, the judicial system in this game is fucking shite. So give us the evidence, Olga.
It is the same way as I drop cold bowl of bullshit on laps of customers casually.
Then the court will casually accept this new evidence, even though we should have got this before the trial begins. In general, and not only this, but also the entire evidence we gotten.
Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder? I was in the room, the hideout, we call it.
Excuse me, the hideout?
It is the room where it begins the gangster. Bad guy was arrested. It's a room where murder took place.
What?
You look out of utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post by the courtroom door later for you. The photos will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want to copy of.
So there are 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shandy Smith, Mr. Wright, and what about only other witness? And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Very well, witness. You will testify to court about the night events. Well, looks like it's time for a witness testimony then.
That night, customers asked me to ask deal cards for people. It was cold. Both players played with the hats on. The victims, he plays the whole time with his hands on the locket at his neck. Then, last hand is done, but sometimes terrible has happened. The man that flew at victim is strangling him to death.
Yeah, that's not... Yeah, I already see the inconsistency. Incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose. Ahem, justice. Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection. But he hasn't lost in 7 years.
Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case in my first 7 years as a prosecutioner either.
Because you were facing a rookie lawyer who has no experience in trial. That's why you're undefeated until Phoenix Wright cooked your ass. Actually, no, not Phoenix Wright. It was Mia who cooked your ass first.
Incidentally, I have some evidence here. These are the poker chips as they lay very moment of the crime. The hands and chips on this side belong to Mr. Defendant, Mr. Wright. And on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith.
Chips, you say?
I mean, yes. Imagine the poker is war. Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils.
I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem like most of the chips of the victim's side of the table. The chip photo I was added to the court case room. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Oh, yup. That fateful night. Oh no, the whole victim, he played the whole time. Then the last hand is done, but something terrible. That man flew at the victim and strangled him to death. Yeah, I already seen enough. Objection! Gotcha. Oh, really? Strangle, you say? That's odd.
Normal customers only choke on brush.
No, I mean this report shows that the victim died of the blow to the head. Miss Oli, really? Did you witness the crime? Damn. She is skillful. That was actually hard though. And she did that with her eyes closed too. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He was still wearing his hat and everything. We don't see any blood, cause I don't know. That can be debatable actually, to be honest. Like your blood is spouting out with the bottle of wine though. Actually, by a glass bottle in general. It depends though. You can get knocked out, but I don't know about killing though.
Yeah, in fact, he was hit, Your Honor. Here's the photo we took of the victim with his hat off during the investigation.
How did you manage to... Okay, well, that was quite shocking, isn't it? His head certainly was hit. Yeah, no shit, Judge.
But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at the victim. His neck.
Oh, really, Miss Oli? I think I caught you in your own lie this time. Mr. Justice, I admit your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's a thing as thinking too much? Yeah, Justice, it's called overthinking. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's a such thing as thinking out loud too much, too.
That night, the customer asked me for a game. It was cold. Both players played with their hats on.
Yeah?
The victim, he played the whole time with his hands on the locket of his neck. Then last, the hand is done. Something bad happened. At the defendant tries to strangle him, he hit him with the bottle.
Go ahead, I believe you know what you need to do.
Right, sir. Leave it to me.
There's only 3 people in the courtroom at the time of the murder. The victim, Shani, and Miss Wright, and if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, I have got you now, Oli. I don't know, it's a bit of a stretch.
Hold it!
You were dealing cards. Do you do this often?
Doc, I'm doing this. If the customers wish, I serve anything broche cards, more broche. It is my work.
It's good to hear the place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service.
Welcome you to Broche Bowl Club, where broche is warm as the waitress.
Thank you for not handing out flyers during cross-examination.
It was cold. Both players were playing with their hats on.
I mean, Russia is a cold place. I mean, it kind of makes sense if you try to fit the Russian restaurant aesthetics, though. It's already April. How could it be cold?
At Broche Bowl Club, we have pride of authentic rustic Russian restaurant theme.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, though.
Outside, it is cities in spring, but inside, it is always cold as Mother Russia.
No way I'm going there.
When it comes to hot broche, cold is best season. Da. The victim plays the whole time with his hands on the locket and his
His locket?
I believe it's a good luck charm. Da. He gripped it many times as he played that night.
Well, I mean, he wasn't lucky for able to hold on, though. For his life, though. Yes, he must have felt through the might carry him to the moon and the stars. Though if it's small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift. The defense would like clarification. This locket you're talking about, I mean, a pendant with the picture in it, right? Not a rocket. Of course, I knew that. It would probably be a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No, a locket is a locket. It doesn't. Okay. It's considered a bad form to poke fun at the heart of the hearing in our society. Hard of hearing, or hard of understanding.
So what happened next?
Bro.
Then the last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. Da.
Hold it! Something terrible? Hey! The defense will refrain from the needless shouting. Sorry, I need to be serious. Reconsider this vocal training thing.
Now, Miss Orly, can you tell us what happened?
Oh, I was frightened. I trembled with fear. Really? That's it? Oh my god. God damn it, Apollo, you fucked it up.
At the defendant tried to strangle him, he hit him with a bottle.
Oh, you. Got you. Okay, now I see.
It was cool, both players were playing with their hats on.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Yeah, it says that a photo of forehead, hat removed during the investigation, which means that someone. Objection! Wait, what? It's not him? Oh, no. Oh, shit. Hold on. Ouch. I don't think that won me any point with the judge. Nope. The judge will never be. You can't win any points from the judge because the judge can be a completely dumbass though. Alright, I already fucked it up. Hold on. Was it the locket? Hold on, let me see the photo. So he does, but
Objection!
he never did. Oh shit. It was the right answer but wrong statement. You know, there is one curious part about her testimony, just like that Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what is that you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on the locket at the neck, I believe she said.
I hope you're not about to raise the objection to the witness grammar.
No, but look at this photograph. There's no locket. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you were able to handle this. But what does that mean? If we're gonna believe this witness testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Or someone just snatched his chain. No pop smoke. He got the blicky chain on. Take it off. Locket just don't disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone have taken it off, no? Yeah, taking it off. Wait, you don't mean someone with pop smoke? The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Ah! Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Say? Yes. I just noticed this, but you have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh shit, this is the exact same locket too. Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. Come again? Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? I already knew he has a daughter. It's just cause dual destiny, that's why.
We confirmed that at the time of the arrest, the picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter.
So Mr. Wright has a locket too. Why don't I buy that? This is just a coincidence. Well now, if the results of this poker game led to a murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game.
Furthermore, testimony wouldn't be necessary. It is clear the defendant lost badly.
Wait, hold on. You got the... Okay, so the victim has a full house. 3 of a kind. It's been a while since I played poker. I forgot the poker design. If I remember the ranking of it, it would be... Yeah, actually, both of them have a royal... Yeah, no, yeah, both of them have full house. It's just... Yeah, he did win. The defendant did lost. It was a close match. It's just the only way to win it is like if you have three cards that are the same, they got and has a higher number. Like Phoenix has 7, and the victim has 8. I mean the king. That means he won. The king won. Miss Oli, you will testify to court about the game played between the victim and defendant. Duh. Witness testimony. Serious competition. The game begins with the 3,500 points in chips for each man. Housekeep comes in 2 sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, it was the victim.
Yeah. For last hand, the defendant's playing with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabbed the bottle from the table and sent his ass to meet the woo.
Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure that must have been bitter pill to swallow.
Ah, how many times do I have to hear these words? I'm done with the fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret it. A bullshit of a common tale, but true. Me tell the judge. It's watched too many old court movies. Yeah, I mean, he is old, Justice. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. The game. The game begins with 3,000 pounds. Are these usual starting points? Were any special rules used?
No, not special. Usual game. Usual rules.
If each man begins with 3,500 points, then it will be a total of 7,000 points. Exactly 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus. It's not even long division. Bro, I know this man was struggling in math in his youth time. Oh no. Some reason I'm low-key tasting blood for some reason. That's all good. House chips games in 2 sizes, small and large. Yeah, it does sound good. And the chips in this photo are all chips that are used. Yeah, I see it. I see the difference now. The size. Of course. Something fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Yeah. Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips?
Explain? What there is to be explained.
Poker chips are poker chips.
They're not fish and chips. Not of chips of the old block, not merely.
Thanks. Now that I press her, I better ask her something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even?
Yet, as I've been saying before, it was a game, not gambling. Harder perhaps for a capitalist to understand. Oh. As hard to capitalists to understand. They will never understand the the communism. 2 types of chips. The 2 types of chips, 100 points and 1,000 point chips.
So that means they start with 5 red chips, which is the small one, and 3 blue chips, which is the big one.
It is not money.
Justice. Sir, don't you find her comment interesting? In more than one, sir. I had to add her to the testimony myself. Whoa, does the defendant want to witness to add her testimony? Yeah, you better fucking add the testimony for that. Yes. Do I have to think? Yes, I do think this deserves a further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with this. Very well, witness. Would this be so kind?
That, Your Honor.
One kind of chip is worth 1,000 and the other is kind. 2 kinds at all. Let me see. Okay, so there's 7,000 points together, which means a small one would be 100 points, and a blue one will be 1,000 points. So, oh, she fucked it up so hard. Yeah, she fucked up. Hold on, just in case. Just in case if I got this wrong. Just in case.
Objection!
Okay, I got it right then. You sure it was a victim who won? Absolutely sure.
It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance of this picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not kind in kindergarten.
Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, we see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which one is worth 1,000 points?
Why, the big one, of course, duh.
Oh, I thought so too. But the total don't add up.
The totals?
Let's review the witness told us. Each man starts with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined value of chips was 7,000 points. Oh. Yes, if my calculation were correct, let's see the 3 plus 1 carry the 5.
They are, Your Honor, now.
Look at this photo that allegedly showed all the chips. So, if the big chip is worth 1,000 and the small are 100, and you add them up,
how much is it?
Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness testimony.
But why? How could this be?
Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right. There's one reason possibility to explain this contradiction. The odd chips here is the number of chips, right, Mr. Gavin? Why are you asking me? Oh, fuck! Just in case. Justice, it's your case I'm concerned about you. If you're wondering about the chips, just look at the photograph on there. Even if our judge with this failing eyesight could count them, that's not the only thing failing the judge. Let me ask you again. Right, there's one way possibility about this contradiction. This calculation makes the answer clear. If the total combined points at the table was 10,600, each man will be starting with 5,300 points. 5,300 points? That would rather be half-baked score at which of the starting game. Justice, would your different starting point really change anything? Eh? It seems the defendant objection was even more half-baked than the score. You're fucking... Uh-oh, this time to head back. Right. But there's only one possible way to explain this. Really? Oh my god, dog. Okay, I went 0-2. Each man began with a game of 3,500. If the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can only be one answer. Whoa, what is it? The value of the chips are other way around.
What?
Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points and not the big ones.
Madness! Utter madness!
Show me the photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why? That will make 7,000 points when you add them up. Exactly. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as thought you would figure it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it.
Wait, the value of the chips may be different, but these change nothing.
Indeed, the victim does have the larger number of chips still. I swear, Judge, sometimes you've never been on my side. You always be on the prosecution's side. Just all they need to say one word, and you will automatically believe them. Meanwhile, I had to present 7 just to get one testimony correct, and then just to get backhanded again by a prosecutioner. You need to be sagged though. Ah, exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do this a little math. Add the points to each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith had 2,900 points, and Mr. Wright has 4,100 points. Well now, it seems that Wright was still winning the night after all.
That's impossible!
My client has even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning.
Yeah! Yeah!
Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you? She was. Maybe she was actually the one in the window, because I remember Apollo did say that there's a little window in that room. Unless that's why she probably witnessed it. There's no way she just like she was inside the room, just barged in. She probably took a peek. She was the goon. Order, order. It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must know our answers. Excuse me? What's this, Miss Orley?
I did not want to say this, but actually, you see, see what, Miss Orley? What do you see? You're making me lose a case. I'm gonna lose to another fucking prodigy. In the last 10, there was cheat.
Oh shit. Yeah, that
Cheat? You don't mean
a trick? Wait, what do you mean? A scam? They're all the same thing.
yes? There was a cheat in last 10. This was the last game in with the chips as they are.
Great, just great. First we have lying and now cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. The case has always been taking a turn for every last game. For the interesting. Witness, will you please testify to court? Tell us about the cheating in the final hand. Holy shit. This is the first time I'm be voice acting. My voice acting skills is pretty shit though. God, my hand. Like there's some moments that I'm gonna have a wrong using a wrong character voice, and it's like low-key a bit frying my brain for that.
The last 10. Both men had full house. There was 4 each card in the deck, from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game become argument. The defendant tricks was exposed. He took the bottle in hand. Poor Mr. Smith.
Miss Orley, why do you have to tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled something cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back to the cover. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. It's like somewhere like top 4 or somewhere in the ranking. It's not easy to make, in my experience. Cause yeah, it is. It really isn't though. I only got full house once though.
That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics.
Like, you have to have a very good luck on it, or a good roll from it, to able to get the full house. Because poker is, of course, obviously a luck-based game. Gavin, what's a full house?
A lawyer these days, you don't know about your poker.
It's basically like 3 same cards and the other 2 same cards. Can't say this bodes well for your case or career. What is this, some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice, you know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair. Oh, I mean not 3 pair, 3 of a kinds. Yes, there's 4 of a kind too. 5 of a kind, that shit don't actually exist though. Because that is like, you have to cheat for that, because it's basically you can't get 5 of a kind. That's a thing. That is a thing, but you had to cheat to get that, because it's impossible to have all 5, because they're always gonna have 4 rather than 5, and 4 of a kind somehow not a high rank for some reason, despite it. So it's actually unfortunate though. It's a 5 of a kind is a fucking mythical. It's like a myth. You have to cheat your way through it if you're gonna do the 2-card deck. But I never played a 2-card deck, so I don't know much about it. 2 cards with the same numbers makes a pair, with a 3 makes a 3 of a kind. So you need 2 pair. You need 2 pair and 3 of a kind together, and there you go, you made a full house. Good, now picture with a hand with 1 pair and one 3 of a kind. That's full house. Oh, 1 pair. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it?
You can see each player in the hand in this photo.
Both of them have it. Wow, they both have full house.
We forget that there's a very easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat.
Ahem, the defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat the last hand, it still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of professional con men losing when they cheat? Yeah, you know, that's a major L if you fucking cheat and still lose though. The last hand both men have full house, yeah.
Hold it!
Just how hard it is to make a full house anyway. It is quite hard though. It's not, it is hard, but it's like not like the hardest way to get it. The hardest hand you're ever gonna get while playing poker is a royal flush. So it's basically you're gonna need ace, king, queen, jack, and 10 in the same shape, which means that all of them has to be the all hard, spade, clover, and diamond. That's how you do it. It's making a pair and a 3 of a kind at the same time. I guess that's right. That shit, like getting a royal flush is like rarer than a shiny Pokemon, possibly. So I don't know the odds of getting it, like 1 in something, like 1 in 1,000. If that's the case, then yeah, it's more. That's like harder than shiny Pokemon, double the amount of it. Oh shit. Very difficult to be sure. You can take my words as a poker head of number 3. Very difficult, but it's not impossible. Okay, full house, hard. This lines of questioning a waste of time. There are 4 each of cards in the deck, from ace to king. Ace to kings. Hold on. Let me see the hands real quick. Okay, I was about to be sure. I was like, I feel like there's something.
Hold it!
4 each, you say?
Da, there is 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card.
Wait, what? Oh, clover.
It is interesting the fact that there's number 4 comes from the number of seasons.
Huh? You don't say. Ah, did you know that the number between the cards are 1 and 13? Card numbers are numbered 1 through 13. Add all of those cards together, you get 364 a year. It's actually 365. He's a little one off, but it's alright. Huh? You don't say. Isn't that 1 day short?
That's why each deck has 2 jokers. And they use the second joker to stand for the leap year. Thus, you have a perfect representation of the year, all in a deck of cards.
Huh, you don't say. We're gonna be in this courtroom for a year if we keep going like this. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I ain't gonna lie, that's low-key interesting fact though. If you look at both men, cheat is more obvious.
Hold it!
How is it clear?
Yeah, very well. The defendant, he played with the 5th ace.
5th ace?
I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith, hand was 3 ace. And Mr. Wright, 2 ace.
Wait, something don't add up. I see something doesn't add up.
Obviously, cheating was aloof. A foot. Perhaps I should say a hand.
Your Honor, perhaps we could add this testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony, please.
Mr. Smith's hand has 3 ace, and Mr. Wright has 2. It is 5 ace in all.
Is he? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Objection!
It appears the witness is mistaken.
Mistaken? But my name...
Look, that this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. And in other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witness testimony? She said like it's the king.
Take that!
Right there. Ms. Orley, in your testimony you made a following claim. Mr. Smith has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim only held 2 aces.
Eek! Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps the defendant's hands were held in a 3rd ace in question.
Objection!
Take another look at the evidence. You can clearly see the defendant has 2 aces in his hand. Where's the 5th ace? I can see cheating all right, and it's gonna be and it's going on right in this courtroom. 2 aces in each player's hand. Does it make a 4 ace total? Hardly proof of cheating. Yeah, there's only like 4 aces though.
Wait, please. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There's a cheating, I swear to you.
That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's still most sincere. I have seen her all day. You're right to trust your instinct. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, may I add, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we may examine the actual cards. The actual cards? Mr. Payne.
Yes.
The player's hands at night were set aside as evidence, were they not? Perhaps we would like to request the cards as shown to the court. Very well. The prosecution will submit to this evidence. All right. Which will you examine? The victim's card or the defendant's card? If these cards don't prove cheating, what's going on? Nothing will. Now, which was more suspicious? Let's pick the victim's hand. I gotta see the victim's hand. If the victim hand was changed over the course of the witness testimony, the defendant requests it's time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. The Mr. Payne, if you would, very well. Well, a time of wasting, get to it, Justice. Fucker. Only one in the card is blue back. I'm much more of a red guy by so blue is so not red, you know? Yes, sir. When examining the evidence, and be sure to view it from all sides and angles. I mean, I kind of know how to do this already. I kind of checked it, for example. Yeah. Gotcha. What? I kind of literally just saw it as soon as I used it. Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back one is different color. That's impossible.
I put that card in right hand.
Oh, you got caught. You did that to yourself on that one.
What was that, Miss Orga? Orly? Yeah, I merely said that I have it.
Your Honor. Mr. Gavin, yes?
Tell me, what is the easier way to cheat at poker?
There's no way the fucking judge did not hear that from her. To cheat?
I'll tell you. One merely needs as a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dearda.
Wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orly, she's the cheater, a professional, I wager. Yeah. Order. Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. Of her mistake. That does not sound right, Paulo. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. It's a good thing he kind of think what he just said. Think what he thinked.
That's impossible, but I put that card in Wright's hand.
Ergo, Miss Orga Orly conspired to cheat with not my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shandy Smith. Oof. Not only did she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine the altercation between her and the victim.
Why?
Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Orga Orly, are you? Time for justice. That is corny as hell. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defendant accused the witness, Miss Orga Orly, of murder. Oh shit, yeah, there's a break. She got a breakdown. Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Orga Orly?
It appears she has lost the consciousness, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice. Your Honor. It seems you have presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means, calm down, Mr. Justice. I'm gonna tell you. This court cannot pronounce a verdict of the defendant at this time. I did it. I held out, even though I was struggling and scared, having massive anxiety the entire trial. But we did it. I see no point in prologuing this trial this day. The prosecution will need to make a further inquiries.
Objection!
Oh, Mr. Wright? You can't end this trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing about?
Think. One of the cards has different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objection right when you're about to get off the hook. Ridiculous.
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has the talents for ridiculousness. No, it is. He's known for having a bluffing tactics, and somehow it works all the time. Even if he makes some bullshit statement like making some weird ass prediction, and he still gets it. Why? Because he's a main character, because he has plot armor. And he will still win the case. Yeah. Well, yeah. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of this thing.
Ridiculous.
Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear the facts about the game that fateful night. As it was said before, we were alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. That was said something before. The 2 decks at the cards club have different colored back, blues and red. 1 color per pack. Why use different colored back? If we use the same color, the two decks might get mixed. So you use different colors and still got it mixed up. We used the red decks for the last game. I see. But that's odd. For some reason, I had this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone has something about the blue cards.
Whatever. In the end, one card at the wrong color got into the mix, which means there was cheating.
Yes, a card slipped into a deck and it seems to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raised two serious questions. Apollo. Oh no, I forgot to save something because I kind of hit the... Yes. Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think in the last game. When was the card swapped? When? Yeah, that is true. It was Orga who tried to cheat, but we don't know the time. There are 3 boards possibility here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during, and after, or after the murder. Oh shit, that's true.
Well, yeah. Thanks to the new bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course, it was swapped.
Oh, it might be simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be.
Yeah.
I would like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the card was swapped? When was it? No, I don't think it's gonna be during the murder though. There's no way. It has to be before. It can't be after though. There's no way. It must be happening before the murder. You mean during the game? I wonder. Huh? Why? Think when you're playing poker. Which side are you facing your opponent? The back. Not something the poker head of court number 3 would likely to miss. I hate that fucking title name. I hate it, Judge. Sorry, let me rethink about one more thing. Okay, so it's something during? Or I gotta be after. Perhaps it happened after the murder?
What's that? Ridiculous. What's the point of cheating when it has been shown? That's silly.
Yes, but tell me, how do you swap during the game? I'll take silly over impression.
Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but it's very little impossible.
When the back of the cards are different color, if you pull that during the game, you'll be caught in no time. Ah, quite true. That would mean the blue card in question was swapped after was shown after the murder. Okay, I got so I got it right.
Okay, this is going past silly and straight on crazy.
Of course, it's always been crazy.
I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that?
Who indeed? There's one mystery before us. There's another? Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red for the blue card? Who? The game, the murder is done, and the victim is dead. Only two remain in this room, alive, that is. The defendant Phoenix Wright and our witness, Orga Uli. Okay, so who was it swapped the blue card? Yeah, she did say she tried to cheat, but poorly. Why, it must be Orga who swapped the cards. She was the one trying to cover up the evidence for the cheating. That does make some sense. What do you mean, some sense? Sorry, but there's a problem with that explanation. The swap cards was from the wrong deck. Yes, the blue card was struck into red hand. Mixing a card from the wrong deck when the backs are different colors. Remember that you were talking about Orga Oli. She was the dealer. But did you really think she would make such a novice mistake? I should have trouble imagining even the judges making that mistake. Give it a little more thought, Apollo. Right. Okay, so who was it swapped for blue? It can't be Phoenix Wright. The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could be Orga either. What? What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at this point. Yes, I know, but she was the one who dealt with the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make a mistake of swapping the wrong card. If the card was swapped during the game, it would be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking about how fun all this is.
Fun? What are you confused? I have no idea about what the witness is claiming, Your Honor. If one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant and wasn't Orley.
Oh shit! I need to take a sip on this.
Then who was it?
Yeah, well, that was the question, wasn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe that we're about to see this case taking a new direction. A new direction? We'll find indeed after the murder. Someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. That was someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us what's the first in swapping the wrong color card. Because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of the cards were being used. The other one mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the fifth ace was the king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew that there is a game that has been won with the full house. So they pick up the king from the table and swapped it in.
But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person still doesn't exist.
True. Not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else that night at the scene of the crime.
What?
Yeah, of course. It's Phoenix. Unless he's actually playing a game. I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials. Ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has preceded one central assumption. Namely, that the name of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this is a new evidence. Oh shit. I believe that this is a new evidence, shall we say, overturning that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. Though I will penalize you. You're lucky because you're no longer a fucking lawyer. I suppose that is a problem, yes. The court adjourned for a brief recess. Thank you, Judge. I need this because I need to drink more water for this. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes. Holy shit, my neck. I need to relax my throat for a moment because holy shit. Because sometimes it's, you know how many dialogue this is in this fucking game? It's like so many. Anyway, but it doesn't matter though for a moment. Because I need to catch some breath for a moment. Alright, there we go. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim that there is another person at the scene of a crime like that. I might ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteriousness. I ask you for leave the defending to your... I only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you still haven't mellowed out one bit, Christoph. Justice. Yes, sir. The judge has summoned me to this chamber, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear. Was that really yours, Mr. Wright? Ah, you're wondering about the victim disappearing locket. Here, you can have a look. There's a picture of my daughter in there. Oh, cute. I'm just surprised to hear that you had a daughter. Even though it's not really his daughter. Not like blood-related brother. I'm just surprised that you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you met her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago, what I did. It's not unreasonable for it to think I might cheat. I never cheat. Honest, but is it odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 years? 7 whole years? Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Eh? You see, poker is about reading your opponent. In that way, there's a lot about the court case. Poker is like a trial. So poker is like a trial law? Figure out what your opponent is thinking and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might conceal it. Everyone revealed their true thoughts in the end. Their body language becomes a valuable source of information. You're kidding. That's right. For instance, Miss Orlo. She would touch the back of her neck during a certain part of her testimony. Did you notice? No. Come on, who noticed that? To be honest, I didn't notice that either. Words have it. Twitching, it's all the information for the reading. The secret to winning Apollo. Someone taught me and how, and I passed the secret on to you. But I'm not worried. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will soon. Almost forgot one more thing about this case. You should know I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. What? I knew it. My reason, of course, all shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there defending me. And I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my Court of Steels were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. To be continued. Next chapter. GG, we survived that one. Oh, Gavin's back. Court will now reconvene. Has our witness, Ms. Orga, recovered?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again.
That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne. Cause right now you're not looking so good because you're getting your ass handed by 3 different rookies. How do you got to say for that now? You lost 3? You lost 2 times to Mr. Phoenix, And you lost to Mia. And now you're gonna lose to this new ass bird looking like a lawyer whose name Apollo. Sadly, fatigue is insufficient ground for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand. Very well. The witness will take the stand. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession? Or perhaps you'd rather admit the things you do are a poor liar and a poor loser. Poorer loser is insane. I don't even know poorer is a good word for that. Not. Oh shit. Name Olga Orly. That's the truth. I am the pro dealer. I feel like she would have a New Yorker accent though. Name Olga Orly. That's the name. I'm the pro dealer. People call me Olga Quick Fingers Orly. Oh, really? Want to know more something else? I'm not really Russian. Yep, I knew it. I knew it because I'm not really Russian. My last name sounds like, oh really? Yeah, she has to be a New Yorker. There's no way. There's the truth. I hope you're satisfied. I don't know how a New Yorker accent woman would sound. Witness, will you tell me the truth that you were up to that night? Fine, I'll talk. We have plans, see? Yeah, she has to have a New York accent. She's a New Yorker. Yeah, that's why I feel it, that energy. When she revealed herself, I can feel that she's not even Russian at all. She was actually just a whole New York woman. And she has the confidence of a New Yorker woman. Any further fabrication will have serious consequences. Fine. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the BlacBushido Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game as a waitress. So you were a cahoots with the victim. Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we were setting up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of the games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card, and the traps would snap shut. You swapped the cards. Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it. It would make high different double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at the cheating will cast a doubt on all his prior wins. A 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan. Oh really, Uli? How droll. But it appears that you really made quite a mistake. A mistake? I agreed the traps was elegant. Yet what happened to the planted card? Hey, that's right. He's lucky. I'll give him that. You have to be slipping free from a trap laid by Olga Quick Fingers Orly. Oh really? Oh really? Okay, here we're gonna hear oh really quite a lot. The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with an evil mastermind Stickle. Shtick? Shtick? Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad. When you're through being bad, perhaps you can testify to court. Now tell us about this trap and how it was sprung. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the hand, just he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him, but the planted card was gone.
The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked the bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no good cheating defendant.
A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
The trap was perfect. I'll tell you, perfect. It was that rotten cheater hasn't messed it up.
Look who's talking. Well, the testimony for what it were is all yours, Mr. Just. Mr. Just. With the witness like her who needs criminals, and with the defendant like that, like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutioner. Yeah, to be honest, Winston Payne, he has been silent this entire time. That night I planted and this planted card, which card was it exactly?
The trump card, the 5th of the hearts.
Let me guess. Mr. Wright was to have switched with the 5th with the ace to make a full house. At least that's what you weren't going to accuse him of doing, thereby ruining his legend.
I slid it into Wright's pocket.
And when was this?
Why? Before the match, of course, while he was eating. At the Broche Bowl Club, we serve broche and suckers.
Remind me to never go there. Nobody wants to go there.
Of course, the cards was to make a grand debut during the game. It was a good borscht, a good plot must be cooked up in early and allowed to thicken.
So everything went accordingly to plan.
Exactly. The 5th ace came up, so it's obviously then switch went off without a hitch. Once an extra card was found in his pocket, Wright would be forever known as a cheater and a fraud.
There are worse things to be known as, I suppose. Tell us what happened with the search.
But the planted card was gone and the trap failed.
The card disappeared?
Yeah, my trump card, the 5th of hearts. Gone without a trace. Poof. Zippo.
I can't do New York accent, bro. Cause I'm not a New Yorker myself. I'm not from New York. Let alone I'm not even from America to be fair.
We searched every nook and cranny. No Tom Nook. Even inside his cute little hat.
But the card was nowhere to be found, is this correct?
Never in my long storied career. Never has quick fingered or really has been really duped.
Oh really? Oh really? So what did happen to the 5th of hearts?
Don't look at me. Why don't you ask that cheating, lying, two-faced defendant?
So the 5th of hearts is still missing in action. Oh wait, hey, she has that. She got her hand on her head, bro. This might be a problem though, or it might be a crucial part. Wait, isn't that a little odd?
What's odd?
You searched Mr. Wright through and found nothing, which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim.
Well,
oh, yo, I mean, we're gonna have a new ability, cause it's like same way as Edward, Miles Edward with the logic and his companion, Faraday, who can recreate a scenario of the same scene of a crime, and then you got Phoenix Wright's Psych Lock. So so Apollo has his own ability himself. What was that just now? I sensed something wrong, Mr. Justice. Cause I see you were having frozen up, all because of the fucking streamer cannot just press a button and just having his stuttering moments. Cause BlacBushido, you're a pretty shitty way to make a commentary. No, nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press a little harder? Miss Orley, you're hiding something. What are you talking about? The scene of a crime, and then you got Phoenix Wright's. What are you talking about, you? Me? Quick fingers, O'Reilly? Hide something? Yeah, she is.
The defense will refrain from a baseless accusation.
I have one question for the witness then. You say that you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is that true?
Of course, it's true. I did see it, honest. I saw it whenever Mr. Wright was in it.
Oh. Oh.
I saw him right hit him with my own eyes. I saw it.
What was that weird vibe I'm getting? That witness, for instance, Miss O'Reilly, she would touch the back of her neck during the certain parts of her testimony. Yeah, I did notice it before I tried to press her. Did you notice? Touching her neck, was it? Whoa, what's going on? This sensation is coming into focus. There, that twitch, it's so clear. It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before.
Gotcha!
Miss O'Reilly, perhaps you are unaware of this yourself.
Unaware of what?
Whenever you get into certain parts of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your hand, your left hand.
My neck? So what?
What indeed, Justice? I haven't noticed anything of this sort. When she said that part of the testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacted to the memory and she touched her neck. I'm sure of it.
A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
Hey, low-key yapping in his perspective, but I know what he's talking about though. This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defendant. It's always been unusual in this fucking courtroom. You claim the witness is remembering something? Maybe you should have the evidence of this memory to show us. Her habit is scratching the neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. That is true. I had to see what she got to say to react to it. So what would remind her most of the moment of the crime? Miss O'Reilly, whenever you recall the crime at that night, you scratch your neck. I have noticed something that you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe that it's the weapon that left an inerasable impression that your neck is. It's the weapon, isn't it? Whenever she talked about the moment of the crime, she touched her neck. It reminds us more the moment that in this bottle, the murder weapon. But something doesn't fit. If you're the only witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like that when you're in pain?
What's he talking about now?
It was Mr. Smith, the victim who was hit, not you.
This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wild conjectural. The witness habits, they are completely irrelevant.
Justice, I'll admit I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'll explain later. Just trust me, now it's our only chance to break her. Miss O'Reilly, please testify in details about the moment of the crime. The very moment.
Yeah, I'm knowing nothing.
Did she revert back to being Russian? She reverted back. She went from New Yorker to back to Russian. We know you're not Russian. Witness. The witness will testify. Please, now. Bah, fine. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got here.
Hold it!
You seem uneasy. You trying to stand up in here? You trying to standing up here? Her eyes are darting all over the place. I must be getting warm. Tell me, after the crime, what was the defendant's like? She's switching sides, then I blink. Shit. Alright, thanks for the bits. That actually scared me. Like, very loudly. Well, she must have been stunned by the weight of his crime. She sat in daze at the table until the cops came. Intriguing. I believe you got all the testimony, and you're going to get out of this witness. So what do you think about her testimony? Thank you for the bits. Oh my god. Her testimony is flawed. You don't scare me, because I need to lower my fucking alert box. Where is it? Shit. Did I not? So loud. Bogus, it contradicts the evidence. What's that? Well, shows this evidence, Mr. Justice. This evidence that you claim contradicts the testimony. She didn't let him out her sight until the cops got here. I know there's some evidence that contradicts that. Oh shit. What? Hold on, what? It's flawed. It is flawed. There's gotta be a diagram or... Yeah, it's the phone. Miss Orley, we have a record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by the report from the defendant. Eh? And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs. And that's what the phone call from the first floor at the BlacBushido Club. So explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely. Got him. Thank you, Yun. The man who picked up the bottle swung that night. Was it the defendant? So it wasn't the defendant, it was someone else. Showdown time. Dirty cheat, and then he got clunked. Check this pocket now. It's gone. The card's gone. You lose. Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from next to right, and he hit me. Some master cheating. And she got hit too. Is that explains why she was... Is that why she was wearing the bandana? The victim has already died. The victim was already dead. Is that it?
That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out when I was in league with Smith, I'd be suspect for sure.
Well, where did this leave us?
Madness. This is madness. I'm dreaming. It must have been me who was hit with the bottle, and I'm imagining all of this.
It appears that our prosecution is at its wit's end. Frankly, I can't blame him. Yeah, it's kind of it. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events? Mr. Gavin, sir, I believe that the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss O'Reilly a big fat liar.
What?
Threw you in that room the night of the murder, the defendant, victim, and her, and she will has the motive. A motive? Her plot foiled. The witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith, and the annulment of that argument was murder. What? I didn't. No murder.
It's a trap. Someone tried to frame me.
What tangle webs we weave when we practice to deceive. So tangle we catch ourselves in the process. Mr. Wright! Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility, that there was another person in the room at the time of the murder? Right. Like Mr. Wright was saying before recess. A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder, and the one who swapped in the card didn't know two colors of cards that were being used. A fourth person.
Huh, this theory again. Your fourth person doesn't exist.
Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court, here where there's no escape and no chance of deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminals. Real criminals? And we were in luck. A clue to the real criminals identified was kindly provided for us. That's right, the beginning of the trial, no less.
What?
Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Remember what I said. The fourth person who swapped the card made one critical error. He or she wasn't considered the color of the back. He or she wasn't considering the color on the back of the cards. Right. But how could such an obvious mistake occur? The cards are used, the last game was red. Yet, there's one person here in our court who thought those cards were blue. Yeah, I had that impression too, but why? Well, Apollo, think you can figure it out who it was?
It wasn't me, I swear.
So it's someone? Who is this fourth person? Why do I always get why do I always get put on the spot like this? Yeah, I know that feeling. You say someone in the court. Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the card used in the game was blue? Who is it? Was it? So it's not her. It's not Shandy. It's not Phoenix. I know it's not fucking Winston Payne. No. Gavin. No. There's no way. There's no way that's him. I already processed of. It was an easy process of getting Winston out of the picture. Same goes with Wright and Shaddy. So it was like her, Olga or really. But now we know more about her. But more information. Her side story is like, yeah, it's not her. There's no way that's Gavin. There's no way.
Take that!
As I suspected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. I was right? Christoph Gavin, you were the fourth person that night. But, of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell me which is cards is blue and the other is on the floor or on the table. But look, you can see the color of this photo. Yes. But when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim, yet it is the only game in the purest sense of competition. A competition? Yes. A test of wits, a silent clash of passion. Only the cards, their bag with wither and blue flames, you know, its final outcome. Oh shit. It is him. The blue flame says it all. Well, Kristoff. Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin, is there something the matter? No, nothing. Excuse me. I was just so sudden. Nah, you know damn well he is mad. He is screaming on the inside. He's crashing out. Right, you aren't seriously accusing me, are you? He knows, no, Phoenix knows it was him. And Gavin is right now is trying to save his ass before he tried to commit a D1 crash out. Oh, Kristoff, you know when you never asked to take a joke this far.
This has gone beyond ridiculous, absolute beyond dumb. This is insanity. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney for murder?
I assure you, I'm quite sane.
But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to have a victim?
I wasn't aware I had a connection to Mr. Wright's either.
Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim had never even met.
Well, what if they have?
Huh?
There is a possibility after all. They may have them met that night before the game started. What are you suggesting? Is this the truth Mr. Wright was saying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify in court. The defense would like to request no such thing. Mr. Gavin? Testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happen before the game of poker be related? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin. As I explained before, the defense believed that Miss O'Reilly. I am to assume to speak for Mr. Justice in this. He is the defense, not you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you. Oh, okay. Go. Yeah, he Apollo knows he's fired after this trial. His first and last time. Does the court hear the opinion that does the court in your opinion needs to hear Mr. Wright's testimony? Yeah, he needs it. This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along. And I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request Mr. Wright to testify to court. Okay, this is most likely going to be the last trial. It too, Justice. Would you like to... You would betray me, your teacher? Sorry, Mr. Gavin, but this isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth. Yeah, you did. You taught me, Gavin. Gavin. Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright. Well, take the stand, please. Appetite before murder. That evening, Kristoff and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Shandy Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollably. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from the cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. Mr. Gavin, you're the one in Bowl Cover Club. The night of the murder? I dine with him rather frequently.
And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder.
Quite against my will, I had become involved in the murder. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, right? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Justice. Oh, I saw that. I know he's like, justice. And calmly. Just, Bro's crashing out. Yeah, he's gonna crash out eventually. I can see it. If I actually reveal the whole truth, probably like most likely the end of this episode. Yeah, most likely. Sir. He's lying. And you're going to expose him. Understood, sir. Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial? You're never gonna have a normal trial in this fucking in this franchise. It's Apollo. There's no way. Not even this trilogy either. Yeah, that's a spoiler. You're never gonna have a basic normal trial. You're gonna have some unique characters in the future outcome.
Hold it!
You had dinner with Mr. Gavin? In that photo, we seen the victim. Yes, he dines with me in the Bros and Bowl Club quite frequently. We were enjoying the usual dinner at our usual spot as usual. I always eat at the table closest to the piano. I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting. So the plates were on such tables were from your dinner. Indeed, the remnant of my meal with Christoph. We dined for 2 hours and then Christoph left after that. Shandy Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. 5 minutes? It's oddly specific though. So there's 2 of them that could have passed in the restaurant during that time. That would be a faithful encounter, be sure.
One. Oh, Mr. Wright. What was that you said? Miss Christoph Gavin and Shandy Smith may have met.
I believe I did say that.
Here, and I was all nervous about this meeting. And we hear that you just passed the hall.
That does seem a little weak as pretense for murder. Oh, it would be. But it would be if that were all that really happened. Come on, Mr. Wright. What are you hiding this time? When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. Yeah, that is truthful. About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Orga really mentioned. She did said that though. I remember. This plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up the trap of sort, and I was to plant the chips Mr. Wright pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 ace during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted cards, and the traps would snap shut. You swapped the cards.
Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
And it did. Yes, a harmless prank in essence. It was by a quirk of fate that I happened to discover it. A quirk? I happened to put my hand in my pocket and I found a card. The card she planted. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and I found it was a 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed the card before the game. Dispose? Where? It was an empty bottle of grape juice. I had it drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside of the bottle. Wait a minute. Wait, I examined the murder weapon. Yeah, it was empty. The murder weapon. Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The color... Wait a minute. The color glass makes it hard to see. Wait. Hold on. Something about that. Hold on. I need to check it again. Okay, I thought it would be like somewhere behind it sticks and then behind the sticker, but it's not. Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The color green glass makes it hard to see. A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. That would sound like a terrific drama. Sometimes the judge makes me laugh. A card's inside of a murder weapon. That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look. I just took a look on it. Mr. Wright, the poker head of court number 3 approved this battle of wits. Please revise your testimony with this new information. I discovered a trap during the game and disposed the card in the bottle.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes? I examined the bottle and I don't see any card in here. No. What? Mr. Wright, surely is not all you have to say for yourself. I cannot say for what I know about I can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it back in a bottle, however. Perhaps the 5th person came and took it out. Oh, and the 6th person could have helped. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. Hold on. First of all, how do you know there's a 5th and a 6th? Wait, hold on. How does he know there was a 5th and a 6th person helped? Like, that's kind of a bit suspicious for that. I'm gonna be honest with you myself. That's low-key suspicious.
I won't have your disparaging our investigation either. We looked inside that bottle. There's nothing.
So what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Or did the card just disappear? In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradiction call for the decisive evidence. Oh? Push him harder, Justice. Push him. Break him. It's just you and a witness in the ring. Go for a knockout. Why do I always get the feeling that we're not on our client's side anymore? Okay. Okay, I've seen this. Okay, so...
Hold it!
I used to entrapment. You see, I knew what was coming. Ho ho! So you struck it first. I like that. I know every trick of the book. They don't work on me. At least when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket, they don't. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left a call to police. You made a call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct? Exactly. Cell phones don't get signals down in a hideout. Was anyone else on the first floor at the time? Not a soul. It was the middle of the night after all. So there was a darkened restaurant. I called the police. At the call, I made a return to the hideout. It didn't seem right when leave the injured waitress alone. When I returned, he was dead. blood streaming from the cut of the
Hold it!
When you returned, the victim was already dead. Yes, I'll admit I was a little startled when I walked in. A little? He was bleeding from his forehead after all. I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in and it seemed like that. That's when I made a phone call to defense attorney Gavin.
Hold it!
Could you explain why would you call Mr. Gavin? I obviously got involved in a rather sticky affair, and I figured Christoph Law's office will give me a friend rate for my defense fee. Ah, glad to hear you intended to pay. Oh, I'll pay in full, Christoph. It was who I got you involved after all. You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Quite high. Is this the truth that Mr. Wright was talking about? Justice. You know what you have to do. He's lying. Expose him. Now. Yes, sir. I have to think what Mr. Wright's trying to tell me with this testimony. The truth has to be there somehow. What is it? What really is it? That evening, yeah, he told me about this. Hold on. During the night, had a dinner, we sat in this photograph.
Objection!
Fuck! It's not him. Shaddy walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. I discovered a trap during the game and it was disposed.
Hold it!
Shit, I did not mean to do that. Oh, fuck.
Objection!
No, it just doesn't. I have examined the bottle and I don't see any cards in here. No? What, Mr. Surely that's not what it is. Wait, is this the same exact answer already? Oh my god, don't tell me. I literally just... Oh my god, do I have to? What am I missing? Am I... Hold on, am I missing something? Is it a phone call? I mean, I still... I didn't make a phone call. I made another phone call to the thing. Hold on, am I being deceived? Because he says it can't. Is it a phone call from here? Because he only made one phone call.
Objection!
No, it's not. It's not? What is it? Is it? Because Gavin left and then he called him.
Objection!
Hold on, what?
Objection!
I can't find any answer. Hold on. Okay, now I'm low-key confused as hell.
Objection!
No, it's not. Okay, so his hat was removed during the investigation, though. But that, what? Okay, now I'm just throwing random bullshit now, because it's actually low. I'm kind of a bit deceived. When I discovered a trap during the game. Wait. No.
Objection!
Not? The fuck? Oh. The girl was knocked out cold and Smith was uncontrollable. I left the call to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from the cut of his wound. I know that.
Objection!
Dog, what? And what am I missing? You know what am I missing? Cause I'm dead confused.
Hold it!
Okay. Alright. was not that. Girl was knocked out. When I returned, he was dead. Blood streaming coming from his forehead. When I made another phone call. What is this? What's the actual answer? I don't know. Wait, hold on. There's no, I don't know the answer. I actually don't know. I'm actually low-key in blank. I don't know. Knocked out.
Objection!
Oh, it's because he saw it. Because the first crime scene photo, he saw it. It was already oh, fuck. God, that took forever. Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes. Take a look at this photograph of the scene crime. You see the victim here, right? He's wearing a hat. You wouldn't think you could see blood from his forehead? Good point. Justice. Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it. Mr. Wright, could you explain this to the court? Ah, I forgot to mention something. I was in who put the hat on his head. Eh? You? Put the hat on a dead man's head? He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view, shining bright in this photograph. He waxed his head? And? I do that shit too. And I picked his hat up off the floor and put it back on his head.
Why would you do such a thing like that?
All I can say is, I'm sorry. But there is only one thing I touched in that scene of crime. So Miss O really didn't see it. It being the victim, his head. I think not. She was out cold. I believe that there's only one who witnessed his head. Ah, here we go again. Mr. Gavin? Pardon. It seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case. Hey, he's still our client, isn't he? I believe that's enough of that. Mr. Gavin, this witness testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you come to lose your authority badge 7 years ago. Well, you certainly have a unique way to treating your clients, Christoph. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone. Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here. Eh? When I noticed the trap, I put the card in a bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I have reason for doing that as well. A reason? That reason is right here. Your cell phone? That night, recall what I spoke with defense attorney Gavin after calling the police, just in case I record our conversation. What's this? Oh, you probably can. Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Christoph, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. That gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good? He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him hard. You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china plate? Wasn't you, wasn't it? Me, please. The cops should be here any moment. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. Bone china plate? Oh, they misspelled it. Plate. A kind of proclean, very smooth and shiny, and not plate, but pate. I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman, balding forehead. Oh, wow, he got him. Oh, no, that's looking grim for Gavin, bro. That's looking grim. The court appreciate the defendant's desecration in not indicating my forehead. Wait a second, something doesn't right about that phone call. So after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Broche Bowl Club. Most certainly. Then, how did he know? When did he see this bone china plate? Oh, that's right. Yes. That's when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. When I spot Mr. Smith's head again, I realize exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. How did you came by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason. The reason why you put the victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? It comes down to this. It has Mr. Wright. Shit, dude. Order! I said order, Mr. Payne! Ooh. I'll have an order. I'll have an order. Give me a double quarter pounder, large fries, and a caramel frap. Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe this is a court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear the defense attorney Gavin testimony?
Well, as a prosecution, I...
Very well. We will break for 10 minutes, after which Mr. Gavin will take a stand for the cross-examination. He didn't even give a chance for Winston to say yes or no. He just like, very well. Are we all clear on that? Crystal clear, Your Honor. Very well. This will be the final recess for today. Mr. Gavin and Wright are both in a judge's chamber. Who would have thought today would be turned out like this? May I? Huh? What? Hello, sir. Please, pick a card. What's this about? Is this one okay? Excellent. I'll have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played, and you'll need a trump card to make. A trump card? The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. That's all. An ace. Where do I remember that card from? Oh. The fifth of the ace. Fifth of the heart. That's the one. Mr. Smith has 3 ace. Mr. Wright has 2. It is 5 ace in all. It is true. I have seen it all. The 5th ace. It was cheating, I swear to you. The missing 5th ace. Wait, this splotch of red. Is this blood? You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. My father fate is in your hand. I know you can do it. This bloodstain is my trump card for finding the truth. I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl, I seen her recently, but where? That's when I made a connection. She's Phoenix's daughter. You can tell it's a resemblance. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And looks like it's just all me now. Just by myself, no more Gavin. The court will now reconvene. Defense attorney Christoph Gavin will be pleased. Take the stand. Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. The witness will state his name and occupation.
This is a farce necessary. Is this farce necessary, Your Honor? Believe me, far stranger things have gone on this court. On this courtroom. Yeah, that's actually true. We dealt with fucking clowns. We dealt with fucking assassin and / kidnapper. We had to talk to them in the radio. We literally have a literal ass child in the stand as a witness testimony. We have a sister who had a plastic surgery to become as a younger sister no, it was like we have a former nurse who had a car crash and then decided to plastic surgery to have a stronger resemblance as her younger sister. We have a giant red-skinned man, like no joke. His skin color is literally red and looks exactly like Phoenix Wright. And we have Phoenix Wright and an ex-girl who's in the Fae Clan, who has some insane shit going on in Fae Clan. That's all I'm gonna say. Fine, I'll play along. First, one thing that we need to make clear: how about the secret beneath the victim hat? Hold on. Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow head? Your Honor seems to have been inordinate interested in it.
Objection!
Oh. Okay, so he still had that normal voice. I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin. Oh, yo, the Phoenix Wright theme. Yo, I'm getting the nostalgia feeling. Mr. Wright! What do you think you're doing, Wright? Wow, things sure looks different from the other side, you know what I mean, Apollo? Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a sec. The victim wore the hat all night, never wore it once, taking it off, except that one time. That one time being the instant he was hit. Oh? When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have been there in a hideout at the time of the crime. In other words, I must be the real killer. It's what you're saying. Not bad, Apollo. Mr. Gavin? I'm afraid I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
What?
Oh, I assure you, I have a noblest of intention. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright. And yet, I'm afraid in the current situation, I've seen a little reason to hide anything. Very well. Allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that day. Finally! You may begin your testimony. Tell us, how were you involved in events of that fateful night? The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout. That must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appeared in the photo. A bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that it was not the best place for me to be in the time, so I left. That's when the call came from Wright.
So, you witnessed the murder?
For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed. Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you're on Mr. Wright's defense team. Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client. What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness stand after all. So you are, Mr. Gavin. And you had to testify as just you did. I had to tell them that you saw the scene of a crime through that little window. Mr. Wright? You had to say that. Because the only probable window of the opportunity, right, Apollo. Oh. Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared? Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is going to get weirder and weirder. Oh, trust me, this won't be your last time going to experience this. That fateful night. The rage I sensed that man in trouble.
Hold it!
That man, you mean Mr. Smith? He was different from the other customers. His aura, shall we say. I knew he was a serious poker player, but it was more than that.
So then, you knew the true nature of your client's job?
Of course, but I also knew he wasn't engaged in gambling, which would be illegal. Well, it would make sense that he knows they were friends after all. Worried for my friend, I returned to the club. You see, I feared this Mr. Smith might be someone coming to settle an old score. I see. What happened then? I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout.
Hold it!
The little window? You mean the one that used to keep watch up the stairs? Yes, a relic from the ancient past. The black markets used it, I believe. Why did you go through the trouble to peeking through the window? Wouldn't that be more easier just to open the door and go into the room? Oh. I didn't want to upset Wright, you see? Upset Wright, Mr. Wright? Yes. What if my fear has been unfounded? I'd be walking in their match. Bad form to say the least. So far everything he's saying makes sense. It must have been right after the murder took place.
Hold it!
How did you know it was right after the murder? Really, no need to shout, Justice. I was just getting to the part of my testimony. Ah, there he is. The coolest defense in the West. We know and love. Even if we are standing up there on the witness stand, some things never changed. Oh shit. Bro, I can feel the hate. Bro, the hatred is insane. I feel like Phoenix has a D1, probably is a Gavin hater more than has a higher. Bro, he has a hate energy than Kendrick. I was afraid you changed too, right? But you haven't. Bro, those two hate each other. This beef is probably bigger than Kendrick and Drake. That is insane. I can. No, that's. To be honest, I don't blame you. With a friends like these, who needs enemies? You and that overbearing personality of yours. Oh my God, Jesus! I kind of skipped it. I saw it from my other Twitch stream. The victim was dead, as he appeared in the photo. By photo, you mean the second photograph of the scene crime? Precisely, you see. He wasn't wearing his hat then. I saw his head when he was dead. And then Mr. Wright came along and replaced his hat. Can you describe the scene of the crime for us? A bald head and a conscious girl, and Wright was holding a bottle in his hand. Those were the only three of the scene of a crime. Yes, as far as I saw, at least. Then we're back where we started. The killer was the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Who else could have been? But why didn't you have to talk to the police? 2 reasons. First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend.
Objection!
There must be someone else there in the moment of the crime. Justice, I just saw no one, not a soul. But that goes against what Mr. Wright said. Ah yes, this mysterious fourth person. Who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose. Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin. Let me pose a question then. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have swapped cards in the victim's hand? Perhaps you can show us the reason why such thing would be necessary. Oh shit, hold on, it's gonna be... Remember, Apollo, the card that was swapped out was the 5th ace. The 5th ace, right. Well then, Mr. Justice, the question is, why would the killer which swapped out the card has been raised? Could you point out the reason? It's now or never. The defendant, we will... Then go ahead, point out their reasoning, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the 5th ace?
Take that!
My reason is, this. Is that an ace? Why it got blood on it? Right next to the spade. What? Oh shit. Uh-oh. You see him twitching his teeth, bro. He's trying to compose. This is insane. Why wasn't I told about this? Why? Could this be? Could this be the missing 5th ace? Inconceivable. How could you? What are you doing with the card? Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset? It's just fishy. A card from some fishy girl. Oh, that card? It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Broche Bowl Club that night after the murder had occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are her stock in trade, that's all.
Objection!
No! Impossible! Unacceptable! The court can't accept this evidence. It's fraud! A fraud? How could you be so sure? What? I would think that the only person who could claim it was fraud. Would it be the one who took the real card from the crime scene? The real killer? Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason? The reason for the killer to take the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime. Where are you going with this? Take another look at the photo and the victim's head. It was the moment of the crime. His hat fell off on the floor. There was a trickle of blood running through it, ran from his forehead down the back of his head. Could have dropped that blood has fallen on one of the cards. I suppose. The killer then took the card to hide the blood.
Objection!
Regardless, that evidence is non-permissible. Oh? Right. Regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years. You used to be a lawyer. You know what serious crime is to conceal evidence. Oh? We can discuss the finer point of our legal system later. Yeah, y'all legal system is ass, bro. What's important now is that I answer your question. What are you talking about? You want to know why the killer will be taking the card from a crime scene. And now, I have told you that one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence. You see.
Objection!
This is baseless conjure. Baseless.
Objection!
Oh, I assure you, it's quite based. What? That is so fucking base, Phoenix. And now, I have told you that one drop of blood would have fucking base, Phoenix. It's amazing, really. How a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo? Yes. Try picturing the scene of a crime. The murder took place in a hideout. The body of a luckless victim found in a poker table. Before the crime swapped the card out, there was a single drop of blood on it in the victim's hand. Given this, there is one decisive problem with this scene. Well, what is it? Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood on the card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit. The victims, the killers, the witness, the second witnesses. Whose position it doesn't fit? It's like, whose position doesn't fit with the bloody card? Who doesn't? So that's right. Who's fit? Isn't?
Take that!
Is it this one? Well, this isn't the victim's position that's the problem. Yeah, that's true. Well, look at the victim struck on the head, sending him back in his chair. Do you think any blood will be falling behind the body onto it in front of him? Ah! I see. Okay, I got the answer correctly then. Take a look at the photo again. He was bleeding on this positioning. The blood will be falling on the floor, not on the card. Why? That's right. So, what does this mean? Incidentally, we were sitting in this Swivel. Ooh, chairs. Swivel chairs? Oh. Oh, he see. Now I know. I see. Apollo. Try. What did he say? Apollo, try turning the table around. Chair around. Okay, so the chair was facing the other side, other way. It would have to be. So we had to assume that there is a person, and the victim chair was facing away from the table. When Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing? When I came back to the room, the body was facing as it was in the photo. That would be the killer turned the chair back around. Let's take a next step. Look at the diagram once more. We know now the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder, but this creates another significant contradiction. Again? Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose location in this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? The victim, the killer, the witness? I'm sorry, hold on, just in case if I get wrong. The victim, killer, witness, the second witness. Whose logic created a contradiction in the victims facing away? Him. The victim was struck from the front, correct? Indeed. Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from a front? Setting his indicator currently is? I would think it would be quite hard, yes.
Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would a victim suddenly turn the face in the wall in the middle of the game?
I believe I made a significant reason will soon come to light.
What?
There are some things in this diagram that makes far less sense actually. Looking again in this diagram, Apollo, if the victim was struck while he's sitting as shown here, where would his assailant be? Try making on the diagram. What? But there's no room to put a mark where the killer should be. Don't worry, let's think it through. See where we find. We know the victim was facing towards the wall at the time of the crime. It could only be one thing we know for sure, trying to forget everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike the victims in the front? Wait, what? Where would the killer have to be standing to struck the victim from the front? Wait, hold on. There's no way that the killer actually was on this. He struck them in the front, and so you mean the killer, Christoph Gavin, was actually on the cabinet or the dresser? I don't know what it is. Either he was sitting down or standing up. Actually, I don't think standing up would be right, though. The killer has to be standing there. Here. You got points for a flare, but that's all you get. Thought I was onto something there, too. I hardly need to point out that the standing would be impossible. The victim is facing a solid cupboard. Or are you claiming the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above? Ha! That's what I'm thinking, too. It's a simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means at the very moment of the crime. Wait, I know. At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there. What's this now? I mean, there's the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin? Oh shit, he's silent. Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange the examination of the cupboard in the hideout immediately. Ballard, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move from the cupboard. Your Honor. What? There's one more thing about your man should look for. Please give this. to Balif. Yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright. I do my best. But let's forge ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram once again. It has been changed. If the killer was standing there at the time of the crime, then the cupboard wasn't here, which means Apollo, try moving the cupboard. Oh, because of that, and that means the window can't observe it. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem at the time of the murder. Okay, so that's how big it was. So that's weird. At the time of the murder, it has been shown here. Wait, but that's a very small gap though for him to stand to move away. Now that everything is in place, it reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my, what's this? What is it now? Look at this diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears that we found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be a final contradiction, in fact. Huh? Oh, damn. It's the window. Notice something, Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching a logical conclusion. Now then, Mr. Justice, please point the new contradiction indicator. What, is it a victim? Is it a killer? Or the witness? The second witness? Which indicator is the diagram contradict that we all know about the crime?
Take that!
He can't see it. The second witness can't see it because the cup holder is blocking. Are we all clear it was something, it was moved? Sure, why not? Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cup holder would be completely covered up the window to the stairs. Ah! That's right. Someone was standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin. What did you say? Oh, is the coolest defense in the West losing his cool? Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right? The only game until someone gets killed. It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was, while the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court exactly where did you witness the crime scene from? Excuse me, Your Honor. Order! This is an order in the court of law, and I'll have an order. We have now received the words from the investigative team at the BlacBushido Bowl Club. They have examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor. Oh? What did they find? Well, Your Honor, it turns out there was a secret passage behind it. What? Oh my, holy shit, this is insane. Yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about. I do remember him saying something about that now that he mentioned it. The secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in an illegal going on. That is true. The black markets, the black markets people are kind of as smart when in case ever they get captured though. That's pretty smart. I don't condone any, I don't condone any kind of black market or any kind of crimes. I'm just saying is like that was pretty smart for them to do that type shit. Alright, I don't condone any of the crimes and laws and condone any crimes and illegal activities. Just you know that. So the room has a secret passage. Where does it go? The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld boss could have got away from the cops and enjoyed a cold bowl of bosh, no doubt. Just like our killer. Oh shit. It's over. It's over. It's so over for Gavin. You see where our lines of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo? I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I need this trump card for the last stand. Yep, and just like that, you see, and the moment we presented, Gavin lost his shit. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked, and the victim's hat was the only off of his head for the few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright returned from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone who could have seen the victim's bald head was the inside of the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin, it can't be Olga. She was out cold from it. Well, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something. Dare I ask, what really happened that night? Actually, I think we can probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith, a date with destiny. There he crouched, hidden in the secret passage behind the cupboard. He was holding his breath, waiting for the right moment. Then a chance came, and he took it. It was over. Miss Olga was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. By the time he was soon to come in, Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the police, and leaving Mr. Sadie Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then the killer stepped out from the secret passage into a hideout, and the victim had heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around to look, and that is a reasonable reaction though. Like, as soon as he sees something, he move out. After the deed was done, the criminal must be seen blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized the need to destroy the evidence. That single spot of his blood told the whole story of the crime. Too bad for him, he doesn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor, and the fact that they were all red. Uh-oh. Got him. Oh, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. As usual, every final minute. I'm truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin? Mr. Payne!
Yerk! Yerk! Yes, Your Honor.
The prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby clearly of all suspicion.
Yeah!
Believe me when I say that, I don't believe this happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances are calling for me to issue an award for your arrest immediately.
Objection!
Uh-oh. Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. It's not every day to get witness a legendary attorney dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin. Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would be taken by such a low-grade parlor trick. Excuse me? The defendant is cleared of all suspicion? This is hardly a time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proved anyone's guilt or innocence here. And he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. And that's not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney. Illegal evidence?
Objection!
Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. Is there any reason at the present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course, this bottle, for instance. The bottle of the grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking. How did you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? And that's not just any fingerprint. Am I right, Mr. Payne?
Actually, yes. A fingerprint on the bottle were upside down.
It seems I to recall why this is an issue earlier. Yeah, it's like, if it's actually him, why does the fingerprint still have Phoenix Wright though? The court, in this case, demands an explanation. I can think the only one reason why it would hold a bottle upside down, and that is to hit someone at the bottom of the bottom well, Your Honor. Ah, see. How the caught fish squirmed to the last. Well, Paulo? Yes, your boss seemed awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation just like that. Yeah, just like what? Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to... Exactly. Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one. Is there really another? Take another look on the court record. I believe you'll find a simple answer there is a plain sight. Nothing over there. What about you? How about you just say the answer in plain words? It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with an unanswered question, indeed. This judge needs to be sacked, like, no doubt. Well, Mr. Justice? Mr. Gavin said that the court in the case demand an explanation. Don't worry, Justice. Won't leave until the justice is done. Prepare the defense for carrying indictment to the court. This is probably the last. This is probably might be the last evidence to present for this case. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints are on the bottom or upside down? Oh shit. It's a photo. It was Orga's photo. It was actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. Placing that bottle on the floor next to your chair. Excuse me? On the floor? Yes. Now reaching down and pick it up without getting out of your chair. Oh. Yeah, it's kind of bit. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of bit uncomfortable to pick up with just a normal way. If you just do it upside down, yeah, it makes sense now. Okay, I have a water bottle with me, so I try to think of it. See, you naturally go pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers upside down. Look at this photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here playing with pianos, bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of the piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottle upside down several times. Wow, I can't believe it. It was that simple. Recall our dinner that evening, Christoph. I was drinking my usual juice then too. Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed. But then you must have remembered. So you went and picked up the bottle from under the piano, and you switched the bottles. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottle and made it look like the murder of the weapon. Order! 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 What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin? Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney famed tactics of misdirection. What? You claim that I switched the bottle? Where was your proof? Proof? Well, that's, just as I thought, more baseless conjecture. Conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty.
Objection!
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiate the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall that I requested an additional investigation? Oh, yes. I have your memo about that here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Broche Bowl Club. And here is the one of the bottle in question. What are you gonna do to dust that fingerprints too? I would be surprised if there were the one that. I would be surprised if any were that but his. Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything. You say Apollo. Yes. Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? But why? Just humor me. Mr. Wright, that bottle will solve this case once and for all. What? That's some bottle. It is. That is in some bottle indeed. Oh, I see it. I see something. Oh yeah, Gavin, you are so fucked. There's something on a bottle. So that was the fifth ace. Fifth of 5 of the heart. What's this? That card, it can't be. Recall that unpleasant woman testimony for the moment. Miss Orga O'Reilly? Yes, our little swindling devoshka. That night, I planted that card like I was supposed to, and the witness lost the hand it was supposed to be, just like he's supposed to be. Then Smith searched him. But the plan was gone. The trap failed. Wait, this isn't... You tell me that this is the planted card you dispose of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony. I happened to put my hand in the pocket and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was a 5 of hearts. And I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed the card before the game. Disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside of the bottle. 5 of hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped, and the only one who could have done that was the 4th person in the club that night. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's having to crash out. He's crashing out. Oh, shit. D1 crash out. We beat the case. That is all. Oh no. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge? Revenge for the event that took away your attorney badge 7 years ago? My past is like my logic. Straight and truth. Nothing changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in a proper direction. Oh, fine. I'm glad we can have this little titi-a-tate. Right. This is insane. What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone? No, it's already over. Winston, you're always in the dust. I believe this has finally come to an end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have any reporters for us on Christopher Gavin? He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now. I see. Still, one has wondered why we do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None of that we know of.
Mr. Wright, do you have anything to add? I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter. About the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd profession to be sure, but that's all we know about him.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good. Mr. Wright? Yes? 7 years and you still haven't lost your touch. Christoph Gavin was a man with that much significance for me and both of us as a friend and a lawyer. He was extremely talented to be sure. I needed 2 things before I confront him. The first was the place where no injustice would be tolerated, this courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo. Me? This is a dark time for our legal system. A twisting justice that brought our own initial trial system. We had to set it right. Mr. Wright, our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it. Well, this seems like a good time to announce a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix, right. Yeah. We beat the case. It's just that easy, baby. Court is adjourned. I mean, this is an easy trial because it's literally a first trial, though. Thanks, Apollo. You came through just like I told you would. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered Mr. The killer. I couldn't have it done myself. You sensed it too, today, didn't you? Your ability. Ability? Yes, a sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough. Wait, I wonder what he means. I have one question for the witness then. When you say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim, is that true? Of course it's true. What's this weird vibe I'm getting? What was that, Mr. Wright? You have to find the answer to that question yourself. The answer, right. Today was a full question without a trace. Most of them without Mr. Gavin. What's possible reason could he have committed murder? Perhaps he learned that in the days to come. Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture in your locket. Your daughter, right? That's right. She's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket. I took this off his neck the night he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him. Wait, but that's pre jury. You testified, you said that the lock was yours. I said no such thing actually. I merely say that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. But subtitle distinctive, but distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth. Wait, but then why? Why would the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside of it? Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I might be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Office after all. I still can't believe I saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. Apollo. Yes? How about coming to work for me? Eh? You mean at Wright & Company Law Office? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know of it. I can't imagine that be true, but Wait, but didn't you... You're not a... Oh, I turned it in my badge, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore. In that incident 7 years ago, that legendary trial, in that middle of it all was one man, Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion, and he left law for good. Have you ever thought about coming back to the court? I'm not qualified to stand in the court of law, I'm afraid. I didn't know that. Didn't you notice in today's trial, there was a single piece of forged evidence? Forged evidence? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician trick. One piece of evidence struck me as odd. It's true. It seems, well, too perfect. I'll bet that this was the forged evidence. Is the forged evidence really? I don't...
Take that!
You mean this? Don't you? I got this from your, daughter, Mr. Wright. Yes, that card shouldn't have been found in the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left, leaving the wrong card in the place. Luckily for us. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. A fraud? How could you be so sure? I would think that the only person who could commit a claim it was a fraud. I would think that the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene, the real killer. Okay, wow. So he has the real one, and he made a fake one. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago. Then, you really... Yes, I forged this card. One look at the scene of crime should have told you it wasn't real. But you can't do that, something like that, and call yourself an attorney. Who's calling themselves as attorney, Apollo? So it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago. None of that mattered much now, does it? Yeah. I punched him. Wait, he punched that? That is insane. It's your story from now on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My address, my office address. Drop in if you like. Mr. Wright. Oh? About your uppercut. Try yelling take that next time. I find it packs a little more punch. He ate that punch? Oh my, he ate that uppercut? I mean, he ate those, bro. He didn't even feel like in pain or just something. He just like smiled and accepted it. It's like he understands it. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time.